Hello students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for chapter 5 part 2. In this video we are going to discuss about elements of weather and climate. In that we have temperature, atmospheric pressure. So these are two topics which we are going to cover in this video. Now we will discuss about the elements of weather and climate. So temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind or moisture are the major elements of weather and climate, and they affect our atmosphere at a large scale. Here we have rainfall also. So we will discuss about these elements of the weather and climate one by one. So in this video we will only discuss about the temperature and atmospheric pressure. Only these two terms will be explained in this video. So here we will discuss about temperature. So the degree of hotness and coldness of the air is known as temperature. As you know that sun is the main source of heat on the earth, but the amount which our earth receives from the sun, that amount of heat is very little. And the heat we receive on earth is known as solar radiation or insolation. Now insolation is the incoming solar energy intercepted by the earth. Now you would have read in your previous class that all parts of the earth do not get the same amount of heat, and the temperature changes from place to place and from time to time. So the main factors which are responsible for influencing temperature on the earth are latitude, altitude, distance from the sea and prevailing winds. These are the main factors which are responsible for the influence of the temperature. Now the higher the altitude is, the lower the temperature will be. The amount of heat is the greatest near the equator and starts decreasing as we move away from the equator towards the pole. So equator is the hottest place, and when you go towards pole, that is the coldest place. And because the poles get very little heat from the sun and they are 6 months continuously in darkness, and 6 months they will get the sunlight which is very little, that is why they are covered with snow. And the places near to equator, they receive vertical rays of the sun, and because of this we have 3 different heat zones on the earth, which is torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. And you would have read about the torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone in your previous classes. So from Tropic of Cancer till Tropic of Capricorn, we have torrid zone, which is in the middle near to equator. That whole area is torrid zone, which is the hottest region. Then you have from Tropic of Capricorn till Antarctic Circle and Tropic of Cancer till Arctic Circle, you have temperate zone. So you have 2 temperate zone, northern temperate zone and southern temperate zone. Then you have frigid zone, which is towards the pole. Beyond Arctic Circle and beyond Antarctic Circle, you have frigid zones. So the higher the altitude will be, the lower will be the temperature. So because of this, we feel cooler on the mountains. As you know that air is less dense on the mountains because the heavy air goes down and it remains near to the earth, and the lighter air rises up, it goes up. So the air which we find on the high altitude is less denser, is lighter, and because they are less denser, they cannot trap the solar radiation, and because of this they are cooler. Now water takes longer to heat or cool. So the places which we have near the sea or near to any larger water body, they have mild or moderate temperature. Now if a wind is blowing from a cooler area, then the temperature will be lowered, and if it is blowing from a hotter area, the temperature will be hotter. Now the temperature is measured in degrees Celsius, and this was invented by Anders Celsius. Now on the Celsius scale, the water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Now to measure the temperature, we have an instrument which is called thermometer. And temperature in cities is much higher than that of villages. Second, we will discuss about atmospheric pressure. So it can be defined as the pressure exerted by the weight of the air on the earth's surface. Now this air pressure is highest at the sea level and decreases with height. So here we have a chart. So on mountains it varies from 930 to 900 MB. On the earth surface it varies from 990 to 950 MB, and at sea level you can see it is highest, that is 1013 MB, which is millibar. So millibar is the unit to express the atmospheric pressure. Now to measure the atmospheric pressure, we have an instrument which is called barograph or barometer. And we already have seen that it is expressed in MB. MB is the unit, millibar is the unit to measure the atmospheric pressure. When we show the atmospheric pressure on a map, we show it by isobars. Now the air presses us with a great force, but we did not feel that. That is because the air presses us from all directions and our body exerts a counter pressure. Now apart from the altitude, the air pressure also depends on the temperature of the air at the given place. Now when we talk about hot areas, the air gets heated and rises. So these areas are the low pressure areas. On the other hand, in cold areas, the heavy airs are there, and heavy air sinks and creates high pressure areas. So the cold areas are the high pressure areas and the hot areas are the low pressure areas. Now this low pressure is associated with cloudy skies and wet weather, whereas high pressure is linked with clear and sunny skies. Here we have do you know section. Now in this there is some information for you. So the air always moves from high pressure area to low pressure areas. So when hot air rises, cold air from surrounding area rushes there to fill in the gap. And in this way the air circulation takes place. So here you can see the air moves from high pressure to low pressure area. Here also you can see in this picture, the warm air goes up as it is lighter and cold airs come down as it is heavier, and cold air creates the high pressure and warm air creates the low pressure. On the basis of the variation in air pressure, the whole earth can be divided into 4 atmospheric pressure belts. First is equatorial low pressure belt. Second, subtropical high pressure belt. Third, subpolar low pressure belt. Fourth, polar high pressure belt. So these are the 4 atmospheric pressure belts on which the earth can be divided. Now, do you know a damp cloth exposed to the air dries up much more rapidly during a hot day as it is compared to a humid day? And do you know the reason behind this? It is so because dry air has more capacity to hold water vapors. Now, when the air is full of moisture, it is called humid. A humid air has less capacity to absorb moisture because it already has the moisture. Now we will discuss about the 4 atmospheric belts, pressure belts in detail. So the first is equatorial low pressure belt, and this pressure belt lies between 5 degree north and 5 degree south of the equator. This belt is also known as the doldrum or the belt of calm. So you can see the doldrum in the picture, which is 5 degree north and 5 degree south. It is located between 5 degree north and 5 degree south. Tropical high pressure belt, and this pressure belt is located between 30 degree north to 35 degree north and 30 degree south to 35 degree south latitudes in both the hemispheres. And this belt is also known as the horse latitudes. Next we have subpolar low pressure belt, and it lies between 60 degree north to 65 degree north and 60 degree south to 65 degree south latitudes in both the hemispheres. It is also called the circumpolar low pressure belt. Next we have polar high pressure belt, and this is situated near 90° north and 90° south latitude in both the hemispheres. Now here we have a question, why is the subtropical high pressure belt called horse latitudes? So the subtropical high pressure belt is called so because in the olden days the horses were carried from one place to another on the boats. When these horses laden boats arrived at this belt, they did not move due to the high pressure. They began to submerge in the ocean. Now, to reduce the weight of the boat, a large number of horses were thrown in the oceans, and thus this area is called the high horse latitudes. Now, what is the importance or significance of atmospheric pressure? Now, because of the variation in the atmospheric pressure, the wind is created and moving air is called wind. Atmospheric pressure also affects the weather of a place. A place having high pressure usually experiences fair weather and vice versa. I hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.